So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're talking about the third new album by the band Unto Others, and it's called Neverland. So, yeah, this is a band that, first of all, they had to change their name because they were called Idle Hands, and there was a movie, there was a lawsuit. So, oh well, they had to change their name to Unto Others. So they started a few years ago, and I remember the first time I listened to this band was when the Metal Trees did a review of Mana, which was their first album. And the name, I don't know, there's a Mexican pop rock band named Mana, so I'm like, ah, Mana. But no, it doesn't sound like Mana. So with that album, they had this goth metal side to them. You reminded of bands like Joy Division, Susie and the Banshees, The Cure, Typo Negative, Him. All those bands come to mind when I think of the sound of Unto Others. So Gabriel Franco has a very distinctive voice, and he's even got the look that goes with this style of music. So this record, it's if you get the special edition, it's got 17 tracks and it's got a cover of the Ramones, Pet Cemetery to End. If not, it's 16 tracks. So the album to me, it's a mixture of different sounds. You have goth rock, you have some thrash metal elements in some tracks, you have classic heavy metal, you got some even like black metal cross punk in a few of the tracks, and you got mostly the goth rock, but it's a mixture of different things. And the album, I think I listened to all their albums. I think this is maybe their most cohesive record yet, and I think it has some accessibility to people that maybe are not into this type of music. I kid you not. The last half of the record is really very infused by god damn it, The Cure, as you can see on my shirt. So the album starts with, it has a song called Butterfly, and it starts with that like goth rock to it. Like it remembered, I got a lot of like him vibes and that Bill Ballo albums that he had last year, because there's some pop elements to it. And, even though it has some pop elements, it's still rock and the pop doesn't overpower it. But then they do a complete difference when they do the second track on the album, which is Mama Likes the Door Closed. So Mama Likes the Door Closed is very thrash metal. I was thinking of like DRI meets SOD meets early Anthrax, and you got the sound of that track. But the lyrics are kind of funny, like when you think of Municipal Waste and bands like that. So the lyrics on that one is all about like the mom likes their door closed because she worships the devil, and when they open the door, it's like, oh my God, Mama, what are you doing? So it's kind of tongue in cheek. But I really like the thrash metal riffing on this song because it's so different from what they did in Butterfly. But then again, they go and change again with a song like Angel of the Night. That one is very like goth rock and to a T. And I really love Gabriel's vocals on this one. It's great. Then you got a song like Suicide Today, which I was reminded more of him. And that one is like a pop goth punk type of track, which is really well. And that's what the next track sounds like, Sunshine. So Sunshine, when I was listening to that track, it has like a pop punk feel to it, but with the goth type of like vocals. So it's pretty interesting. I read somewhere that some people were comparing this to Blink 182, Tom DeLonge, and I was listening to it, and I couldn't hear it. Maybe some parts in the music, but vocally, I think Gabriel sounds like Gabriel. So it's a poppier track. So this is the type of track that you can show to someone that basically doesn't like this type of music, and you can put this on there and be like, oh, this is interesting. The album does have a few interludes here and there that some it feels like little intros into other songs that to me, I don't know if they're needed for the album. But then you have tracks like Fame, When the Kids Get Caught, that sound more like 80s classic rock with a little bit of goth tinge into them. Uh, Great guitar solos on those tracks, which really give it a good pace. These are tracks that really, if they came out in the 80s, you wouldn't be surprised that were from the 80s, even though they're not. Then you have a short track and with explicit lyrics called Flatline. And that's the track that sounds like black frost punk. It's really fast, really aggressive, and it's only 1 minute and 23 seconds. And it's like a complete change of pace again. And you're surprised. And that's something I like about this album. They can give you some soft curveballs and change the record and the sound. You're thinking like, oh, it's going to go this way. But no, it does something different. But then the next tracks, Time Goes On, Cold World, I Am the Light, is where I got more of the Cure vibes to them. Time Goes On is like more of like a ballad type of track, but it's got some like good guitars on it. Some of the best solos on the record are on the last songs of the record. And yeah, it's the Cure influence that I listen to on these tracks, especially almost in the way that Gabriel sings these tracks. Then you have another interlude with Farewell that goes into Raigeki, which is probably, I would say, this is one of the best tracks on the record. And this is the track that really has that sound that you say is unto others. It's got that guffiness appeal to them, sexiness to the track, but it also has the best guitar solo on the record is on this track. And it's the type of guitar solo that it's very clean sounding, very 80s, and very arena rock. And I really enjoyed it. But unfortunately, then it goes into a weird track called Hoops, which is 2 minutes and 53 seconds of like, it's the first initial guitar to it sounded like La Bamba. I was like, what the hell is this? It's another curveball, but the song goes like hoops. They say like hoops, and Gabriel does like, oh, some noises, but it doesn't go anywhere. And to me, it's the weakest track on this record. Then you have Neverland, which closes the record. And that one is great. I love the lyrics about flying off to Neverland. It's very dreamy, very lush in sound, and again, very earwormy. And I really like it because this one is a great album closer. But obviously, if you want to listen to more, they have a great cover of Pet Sematary by the one and only Ramones. And it's a great cover. So yeah, in conclusion, Neverland by Unto Others might be the best goth rock album of the year. It's not perfect because it has, I would take away some of the interludes were just a few. They're not bad, but I'm like, do they need it for the continuation of the album? And the only track that I thought was kind of weird and didn't do anything was Poops. But besides that, I really enjoyed this record. I love the feel of like listening to this, and you feel like you're transported back in time. The best thing for me on this record is Gabriel Franco's vocal delivery. He really channels those other singers from those bands. And I like the songwriting is pretty strong on this record. So besides those nitpicks that I said, I think this is a great album that you should not sleep on. And unfortunately, I did not interview Gabriel Franco on the couch. Oh, well. But I have two YouTuber friends that did. The Metal Meltdown and the Metal Trees both did interviews with Gabriel, and both are very interesting. So I'll put link to both of those interviews for people who want to know more about this record. So tell me, what are your favorite tracks to Unto Others? Do you think they changed too much on this record and it's more accessible and commercial? Or do you think it sounds like them? Comment down below what are your favorite tracks. And if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like and do not forget to subscribe. That helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourselves. So until next time, couchers, this is Hector, the shield dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.